What's up, insecticidal gang? Now, with all of the seedling content that I've been posting, I do realize that there really isn't a lot of information out there, and definitely not a lot of videos on how to manage your seedlings, whether it be repots, watering, all that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely going to continue to bring you footage, content, how-tos, instructional videos, and all of those things that you guys keep asking me for. Now, I do get a lot of questions between Reddit, Facebook, Instagram about how to do this or how to do that. And instead of me typing the answer out 1,000 times a week, I like to just record it on video. So today, I'm going to show you guys how to take a pot of seedlings, what we call a compot, community pot. We're going to learn how to take a pot like this and break this thing down so that you can repot your seedlings, give them a little extra space or anything, you know, whatever your desires are, whether you're going to sell them off. It's a mosquito on me. It's on me again. So whether you're going to sell those things off or repot them and let them keep growing, I'm going to show you how to take this pot and break it down into individual pots, because a lot of people are nervous about whether you can touch the roots and all of those things. So you guys sit tight. We're going to switch it up a little bit, and then I'm going to bring you that Class A grade 1000 insecticidal instructional video on how you can take this thing and bust it down and keep the party going. I'll see y'all in a second.
All right, so let's get to work. First things first, we have our seedlings. These are Ring of Fire by SARS. Again, that was from my book, my good friend Geo. You want to keep your tag? So what I do is I chuck it in my bucket of water. Speaking of, I'll show you all the supplies that we're going to be using today. Of course, you got your seedlings, you got a bucket of water, and then I have my junk dirt pile. All right, so first things first, we're gonna wiggle this pot, because all we're doing is loosening the dirt and keeping it from sticking to the pot, because it's been in there for a while, so a lot of times it kind of just sticks to the pot. Another big piece of this too is you don't want your soil to be too wet. A little bit of moisture is cool, but you don't want it to be super wet, because it kind of makes this process a little harder, in my opinion. It doesn't come out of the pot right. I like it to be nice and crumbly, so it just breaks apart when I go to uproot them. But after you wiggle it around a couple times, you want to turn it over, being careful not to crush too many of the pitchers. Some of them are going to get damaged. Some of them are going to get pulled off through this process. It's okay. So I'm just shaking it out. Look at that. Oh my God. See that? These plants were planted in January. These seeds were sown in January 2025. It is July of 2025, so they are January, February, March, April, May, June, July, what, 6 months and some change. But yeah, they look good. So now that we have them uprooted, and when I do my seedling pots, I'll link the video in the description, because today we're just talking about taking them out of the pot. I have a video showing how they go in the pot, which I'll link to this video. But when I'm taking them out, all I want to do is break this root ball up some. Then I'll just grab him and pull him over this way. So now I've broken it into 2 pieces. I usually like to break them into 4s and make it more manageable. So then I'm gonna take this and break it in half too. Boom. And then take this one, break it in half as well. All right, now I got 4 pieces. This one has already come out. Look at that. Oh my. You don't have to worry about being scared to touch the roots, and man, it's a lot of propaganda out there in these carnivorous plant groups about how delicate these plants are. They are pretty tough. So next, what I want to do is just massage the dirt away from the roots as much as you can. And I'm just throwing it in my junk dirt pile. It depends on, like, if I have root rot plants or anything like that, sometimes I'll take that junk dirt and fill holes in my yard with it. I don't just discard it, but it gets used. So here, like I said, I'm just massaging the plants away from the dirt, and they just come right apart. It's super easy. And then I'm just chucking them over into the water. The water keeps them hydrated while I'm messing around with them, and it cleans the roots off. Come through, same thing, get that junk dirt off. Some people take this time to make selections. I'm not selecting nothing right now. We keeping the party going. Look at that. See, it's not that hard. People think this right here is like, oh my God, how do you get them out of the pot? And oh my God, try not to touch the roots. And man, they are plants. They adapt better than we do a lot of times to certain situations. Nice long roots on them. This is one of the biggest ones in the whole pot. Well, not this one, but this one's coming up. Oh, look at that. Geo did his thing with this cross. Here you go. I'm almost done taking these things out. If you can't get the dirt off, don't force it. Just throw it in the water. It'll literally melt off of the roots when you put it in the water. What I usually do at this size is put maybe 4 to a pot in my pots. They're only a little over 2 inches, but they're 5.5 inches tall, so plenty of room for root growth to continue. But I usually put 4 of these this size in that pot. Put one in each corner and put them back under lights and keep it going. I'm really hoping these keep this type of coloring where the bottom part of the tube is green and then the top is red. It may just be because it's not getting adequate sun or light in the case of these, since they're under lights. But here's a little runt out of the group. I'm gonna keep it though. I'm not gonna cull it just yet. There we go. And I usually try to grab them by the crown. That makes it easier to pull them apart instead of pulling the pitchers. The crown is the part where the pitchers actually come out of. But see, there's another skinny one, little runt. Let's see, you come down here and there's a loose crown. So I'll just wiggle him out like that. Boom. And you cause as little pitcher damage as possible doing it that way. Then I was about to say, I know it's not all one plant. These are just jumbled up together. There we go. That thing is fire. This is probably when I said I'm not making any selections, I might have lied. Is this 1 or 2? Yeah, man, this one is fire. I hope it keeps this color, just like this. It's hard to say at this size. They can all change drastically. But yeah. But see, man, that's it. Take your junk dirt, throw it in the junk dirt pile. And then there's all your seedlings. They're in water. Even if you can't repot them immediately, they can stay like this for a couple days until you get around to them. You know, be careful when you pull them out of the water. Somehow, it doesn't matter how careful you are, they get tangled right back up once you put them in the bucket of water together. But yeah, these things have some great growth. They're starting to form rhizomes. Some of the bigger ones are, at least. But yeah, I appreciate y'all watching. If you guys have any other questions or video suggestions, just let me know. I love answering questions like this in an educational manner and with a show and tell format versus me just typing out, you know, thousands of words a minute about what's going on. But I'll check y'all later, man. Appreciate you taking a look.